these little clips, like you see how like man him was talking and then somebody else talked like in his crew. That's what get me up. Like that's what make me like. I always want to prove to some.
Time is running out, but for Lamont Roach, it might be moving even faster. He's gearing up to face an undefeated fighter with 28 knockouts, widely recognized as the face of boxing and someone who has already beaten him twice. And if the pressure of fighting Tank wasn't already high, Tank has been fueling the fire with his brief but pointed warnings.
Now, I promise you, you better leave them home. You better leave the females home. On my mother, you better leave the females home and the kids. On my mother. Yeah, now watch this. Now watch.
Lamont Roach may insist he's unfazed, confident in his skills, but deep down, he knows there's a real chance he could become Tank's 29th knockout. And Tank didn't hesitate to remind him of that with another warning at the recent press conference.
9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, he looked at night.
I'm telling you saying you going down in a night?
Some boxing fans might not see this as a major event, but plenty of insiders believe Roach is the perfect opponent to test Davis. Known as the Reaper, Roach has earned a reputation for surprising opponents with his power and skill, something even Tank has acknowledged. There's even talk that Roach could pull off a shocking upset. If that happens, a big if, it would send shockwaves through the boxing world, boosting Roach's career while casting a shadow over Davis's final chapter.
He took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all that people talk about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog, and he want to prove his skills against a dog. So I'm gonna show y'all what happens when two dogs get in the ring together.
This fight didn't come together easily. There were multiple delays leading up to the announcement, testing fans' patience and sparking speculation that it might never happen. At one point, Davis even declared the fight was canceled, disappointing boxing fans everywhere. But now, both fighters are locked in and fully focused on their training, preparing for what is shaping up to be one of the year's most anticipated bouts. Still, even with the fight officially back on, Davis couldn't help but stir the pot. He recently dropped a cryptic message on X that left fans both worried and confused.
Big bro coming out with the upset. A lot of people are going to pick Tank going into that fight, but how do you see that playing out?
I see my brother walking out victorious. No, there's no doubt. Not because that's my brother, but because I seen him.
Davis's post on X simply read, "Fighting for my life." Those 4 words instantly grabbed the attention of his millions of followers, sparking a wave of speculation. What did he mean? Was he hinting at a personal struggle, possibly related to his mental health? Or was he talking about the grueling intensity of his training camp and how much this fight means to him? The vague message left fans searching for answers. At the recent press conference, Davis gave some insight into what he's been dealing with. He admitted that the demands of boxing have started to take a toll on his mental well-being. Boxing's been my life, but it's weighing heavy on me now. I'm thinking more about my family than the ring these days, he revealed. For years, Davis has been known as one of the toughest fighters in the sport, but even the strongest champions have their breaking points. His honesty resonated with many fans who understand the immense pressure that comes with being at the top.
Something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'm a show up.
When he talks about you not bringing your family, what goes through your mind when you hear him say that?
After Davis's cryptic post, his social media was flooded with messages from worried fans. One fan commented, "That sounds scary," echoing the general unease many felt after seeing the tweet. Another fan tried to offer some encouragement, writing, "Keep fighting, champ," hoping to lift Davis's spirits. These supportive messages have become a regular sight whenever Davis opens up about something personal. Over the years, his fan base has developed a close bond with him, standing by him through both the highs and lows, and now they're rallying behind him once more. Another fan summed up what many were feeling, writing, "Damn, that's cryptic." The vague nature of Davis's message left plenty of room for interpretation, and fans couldn't help but wonder what he really meant. Was it a warning that something was wrong, or just a sign of his determination to give everything in this fight? Regardless, fans were left on edge, anxiously waiting for more clarity. One fan, showing real concern for Davis's well-being, wrote, "Stay safe, champ," and followed it up with, "Keep going."
Roach is a terrific fighter. He might be a little over his head with Gervonta Davis. Gervonta Davis is, I mean, to say the least, he's a beast. He really is. He's a tremendous fighter.
Despite all the speculation, Davis didn't leave fans hanging for too long. Soon after his cryptic post, he shared another update. 4 weeks away. This short and to the point message signaled that Davis was laser focused on the upcoming fight. Whatever emotional or mental challenges he may be facing, it seems he's ready to channel that energy into his performance in the ring. This fight is especially meaningful because Davis has already announced that 2025 will be his final year in boxing. That means every fight from here on out is part of his farewell tour. Fans are hoping Davis will go out with a bang, and he's determined to leave a legacy that secures his place among the greats. This could be one of his final chances to prove himself, and he's gearing up to give it his all.
Wrestling fight, you know what I'm saying? Because Roach always, he come to fight, and I think it's a great fight. Everybody talking all that stuff about, why Roach? Because he signed and took the fight, you know what I'm saying? And it's good for the community.
The tension between Davis and Lamont Roach reached a boiling point at the press conference when the two fighters exchanged verbal jabs. Suddenly, Davis erupted with a fierce warning aimed at his opponent. "I will tear you apart." It was clear he wasn't taking this fight lightly. This wasn't just trash talk, it was a bold declaration. Roach, however, wasn't intimidated. "You've been running scared for months now. It's time to back those words up." He fired back with equal intensity. The exchange made it clear how personal this fight has become. Davis, known for his fiery temper, is clearly feeling the pressure, but Roach is determined to show he's not just another name on Davis's record.
His ass
Can't
start
do
talking.
shit with.
For
I don't
real.
give a fuck.
I better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck if y'all was
all that
quiet,
ski
y'all was-
mask
if
and
y'all
all
was
that.
loud,
They got
y'all
all
was
wood over there.
talking
Like,
The press conference ended without any physical altercations, but the verbal showdown left a lasting impact. Fans and analysts are now more excited than ever to see how this fight will unfold. Will Davis's anger fuel a dominant performance, or will Roach use that emotion to his advantage? The mental side of the game is just as crucial as the physical, and both fighters are playing it to perfection. Throughout his career, Davis has built a loyal fan base that has stood by him through thick and thin. They've witnessed his rise to fame through knockout victories and supported him as he faced personal struggles outside the ring. This latest chapter in Davis's story is just another part of his journey, and his fans are ready to stand by him every step of the way.
One's been able to solve Tank Davis. What do you need to do to, together with you and your team and obviously your son, to score that victory?
We got a game plan. We're gonna execute it, and we're gonna get the
move
results.
that head, bob and weave, bob and weave.
One fan, confident in Davis's ability to overcome any obstacle, wrote, "Tank's been through worse. He'll come out of this stronger." Another added, "This fight's gonna be special. You can see it in his eyes." These comments show the deep connection Davis has with his fans. They don't just see him as a boxer, but as a true fighter in every sense. With less than 4 weeks until fight night, the excitement is building. The battle is set for March 1st at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, and both fighters are turning up the heat. Training videos and bold statements have only intensified the hype. However, despite all the buzz, not everyone is convinced this fight will deliver what fans are hoping for. Could it be that this is just another match to keep Davis busy, rather than one that truly challenges him?
Can't even see who it is. Hey, who is the dude? Who is the dude?
And that right there is why Gervonta.
Lamont Roach Jr. recently made headlines with his confident prediction of an upset. After Premier Boxing Champions posted a promotional clip of Davis on Instagram, Roach reshared it with the caption, "Upset." Alert! This bold claim has sparked debate within the boxing community. Roach's record is impressive, 25-1 with 10 knockouts. And while he's earned respect in the super featherweight division, he hasn't yet faced an opponent of Davis's caliber. Roach's TKO victory over FL Mexi showed his dominance in the ring, but taking on Davis at lightweight is a whole new challenge. Many fans view Davis as a knockout machine, with his most recent victory being an 8th round stoppage of Frank Martin. In June, Davis's knockout power has been consistent for over a decade, and few fighters have managed to go the full distance against him. Despite the odds, Roach remains undeterred. His confidence has raised questions about whether he knows something the rest of the world doesn't. Could his team have spotted a weakness in Davis's style or conditioning? Or is Roach simply trying to get inside Davis's head? A recent training clip of Davis surfaced online, showing him working on his hand speed with trainer Patrice "Boo" Harris. While the video quickly went viral, reactions were mixed. Some fans praised Davis's rapid uppercuts and intensity, while others expressed disappointment. Critics pointed out that Davis seemed slower than usual, with some even suggesting that Shakur Stevenson would easily outmatch him in a speed contest.
Would you be content if you won this and that's your last fight? Or nah, still some more heads you gotta put on the wall?
Yeah, definitely some more heads to put on the wall for sure. But
there has also been backlash against the fight itself, with many fans questioning why Davis is facing Roach instead of bigger names like Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, or Vasyl Lomachenko. One vocal fan commented, "This isn't the fight we wanted. Tank should be challenging himself, not taking easy fights." A key factor in this matchup is the weight difference. Davis is a natural lightweight, while Roach competes in the super featherweight division. Moving up in weight could put Roach at a disadvantage, as Davis is known for his power and ability to absorb punches. However, Roach's speed and agility could help him neutralize Davis's strengths. If Roach can avoid Davis's power shots and control the pace of the fight, an upset might not be as unlikely as it seems.
And I'm gonna let y'all know something. His father was up here shaking on the what's the name? He was shaking on the
Thank everybody that played a part in it. My team, Roberto Diaz, Gary Jonas.
On my kids, he was shaking on this thing. On my kids, he was shaking. How you gonna say it's cap? And it gotta be. You gonna say it's cap? I'm watching it. Gotta be.
Davis is no stranger to criticism, but the pressure is mounting for him to face more challenging opponents. Fans want to see him in marquee matchups against fighters like Stevenson, Haney, or Kesson Davis. Anything less feels like a missed opportunity. With Davis in the prime of his career, every fight counts, and fans are growing tired of bouts that seem more like placeholders than real tests. That said, it's worth considering if Davis's team is playing the long game. By keeping him active with fights like this, they might be aiming to preserve his longevity in the sport. Still, boxing is as much about legacy as it is about wins, and Davis's legacy won't be fully cemented until he faces the best of the best.
No Lamont Roach, but you know, when you're looking at Shakur Stevenson, when you're looking at, you know, these other fights that he should really be fighting, you know, he don't want to do them fights. He wants to retire.
Yeah.
So don't come and but don't come and come at me. Yeah. And go, oh yeah, let's.
For Lamont Roach Jr., this fight is the opportunity of a lifetime. A victory over Gervonta Davis would push him into superstardom and open doors to bigger paydays and title opportunities. Roach's confidence, combined with his solid boxing fundamentals, makes him a dangerous opponent. If he can weather Davis's early onslaught and take the fight into the later rounds, anything is possible. Kenny Ellis, Gervonta "Tank" Davis's coach, has made it clear that he supports his fighter's decision to face Roach Jr. for the WBA lightweight title defense. Ellis has faced backlash for defending the matchup, with many fans criticizing it as another example of Tank avoiding high-risk fights. While Ellis praised Roach's pedigree, fans remain skeptical, seeing the fight as another safe, uninspired matchup. Ellis insists Roach is a tough, skilled fighter, but some fans aren't buying it. One of Ellis's key points is Roach's amateur pedigree. According to him, Roach is a 7-time national champion, which is impressive on paper. However, that amateur success hasn't fully translated into the professional level. Roach's record is respectable, but not stellar. His loss to Jamal Herring a few years ago, and a razor-thin win over Hector Luis Garcia, a fighter that Tank knocked out with ease, raised serious questions about Roach's ability to compete at Tank's level. Critics argue that Ellis might be inflating Roach's reputation to make the fight seem more competitive than it actually is.
When they start talking, when the people that who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get dumb. I'm gonna beat his ass.
You can't do shit.
For real. Y'all better be quiet.
I don't give a fuck.
Fans aren't just frustrated with the choice of Roach. They're fed up with a recurring pattern in Tank's career. He's often been accused of fighting opponents who are smaller, less powerful, or simply not on his level. Critics argue that Tank should be facing top-tier lightweights like Andy Cruz, Raymond Morala, William Zappa, Edwin De Los Santos, Floyd Scoffey, and Kayson Davis. Many of these fighters have called out Tank or expressed interest in a fight. However, Ellis insists that Tank isn't ducking anyone, claiming that other fighters price themselves out or turn him down. Still, fans aren't convinced. After all, Tank is a superstar in the sport, and there's no shortage of boxers eager to share the ring with him.
I'm gonna beat his ass.
Ellis's comments about the sparring history between Tank and Roach also raised some eyebrows. He mentioned that the two sparred several times as amateurs, with Tank coming out on top. Ellis downplays the significance of these sparring sessions, pointing out that Tank's past opponents often claim to have beaten him in sparring, only to lose decisively on fight night. However, bringing up these old sparring stories does little to excite fans about this matchup. In fact, it might reinforce the idea that Tank's team is prioritizing familiarity and safety over real challenges. Ellis also touched on Tank's mindset heading into this fight, claiming that Tank simply loves to fight and doesn't care whether his opponents are marquee names or lesser-known fighters.
What?
Who said that? You said
My
what?
man,
You said what? Yeah, that's why I've been waiting for the niggas to talk. How much you want back? How much you want to bet? Because I came up here alone. How much y'all want back? How much?
Ellis seemed indifferent. When discussing the possibility of fights against Shakur Stevenson or Vasyl Lomachenko, saying if those guys choose to fight him one day, they can get it. If not, life goes on. This casual attitude has frustrated fans who are eager to see Tank take on legacy-defining opponents. Ellis's remarks suggest that they're more focused on keeping Tank busy with fights like Roach rather than pushing him toward greatness. Some fans and analysts believe that Kenny Ellis is simply trying to sell a fight that nobody really wants. If Ellis were more honest about the fan backlash, it might show that they're aware of the criticism. Instead, he leans heavily on Roach's amateur accolades and makes excuses about other fighters not being available. To some, this feels more like damage control than genuine confidence in the matchup.
Would you consider you and Gervonta friends?
Friends? Probably.
Is it gonna be hard to go in the ring and fight your friend?
Not at all.
Are you all gonna be friends after?
Yeah, why not?
Either way it goes.
Both making money.
But you guys are making each other bleed.
Hopefully I just make him bleed.
True.
One of the most contentious points is Ellis's insistence that Tank is not at fault for the perceived lack of quality opponents. Ellis repeatedly emphasized that Tank's team tried to secure bigger fights, but was unsuccessful due to opponents' high demands. However, boxing insiders and fans alike have questioned how true this really is. Fighters like Andy Cruz and Kayson Davis, who are up-and-coming stars, would likely take any offer to fight Tank. Others like Raymond Morala and William Zappa have also been on impressive runs and could easily be positioned as credible challengers. The fact that none of these fighters were chosen raises the question, are Tank and his team intentionally cherry-picking easier opponents?
Here's my take on the fight. Everything is true about this situation. One, Gervonta Tank Davis was being dumped leading up to this. Shakur Stevenson.
Fans want to see Tank fight the best, plain and simple. His talent and knockout power are undeniable, but his resume has been criticized for lacking marquee wins over elite competition. A fighter like Shakur Stevenson or Vasily Lomachenko would represent a huge challenge and potentially elevate Tank's career to another level, but as long as fights like the one against Lamont Roach Jr. keep getting made, fans will continue to wonder whether Tank is avoiding the toughest competition. Ultimately, Kenny Ellis's defense of this fight hasn't done much to change the public perception. While he may genuinely believe in Roach's abilities, the fight feels underwhelming compared to what fans were hoping for.
Yeah, man, I mean, it's going to go, Tank going to be losing the first 3 rounds, then he's going to download the data, then he going to knock this dude out in round 7 or 8, then he going to do the backflip, then Jim Gray's going to get in the ring, or Caleb Plants away and say, who do you want next? And Tank's going to say, I want all those guys. And they're going to go to the press conference and Elliot Setback's going to say, who do you want next? He say, I want.
Ellis's comments about fighters pricing themselves out or turning Tank down may hold some truth, but they also come across as excuses. Tank is a star with the ability to draw huge pay-per-view audiences, and there's no shortage of opponents willing to step up for a shot at him. Fans will continue demanding more, and if fights like this continue, Tank's legacy could take a hit. At the end of the day, Ellis's job is to protect and promote his fighter, but in doing so, he may inadvertently be highlighting exactly what fans are upset about: the lack of risk, the lack of marquee matchups, and the constant search for safer, easier fights. If Tank Davis truly wants to silence his critics and solidify his place as one of the best in the sport, he'll need to start taking on the fights fans actually want to see. Until then, comments like Ellis's will only fuel the narrative that Tank is playing it safe. That said, boxing is unpredictable. Roach has the skills to make this fight more competitive than people expect. And if Davis comes in underprepared or overconfident, an upset could be on the horizon. Whether this fight ends up being a showcase for Davis or the start of a new chapter for Roach, one thing is certain: March 1st will be a night to remember. What do you think? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.